Hey guys, it's Francine,
And Carrie.
and we're from 24abs.com,
We are.
and we're here to tell you how each of us got a sponsor. We actually started a video a few weeks ago, and we got cut off, and some of you were wondering, so how do you get a sponsor? So we're here to talk about that today. So do you want to talk about how you found your sponsor first?
I do. Almost 14 years ago, I went into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I didn't know anything. I didn't even know what a sponsor was. And I ended up going to a beginner's meeting, and the gentleman who was running the beginner's meeting said, Carrie, before you leave, you have to get yourself a sponsor. And I was like, what's that? And he was like, well, it's a person that takes you through the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous and through the big book. And, I was very afraid to ask someone to be my sponsor. And I was still kind of like all over the place, from my drug use and drinking. But that night, I got my courage up and I heard different people sharing throughout the meeting, the beginner's meeting. And I found a woman who I liked what she said. And I went up to her at the end of the meeting and I said, I'm Carrie. I'm an alcoholic. It's my first time here. I just got my 24-hour coin. Could you sponsor me? And let me tell you, this woman who did not know me at all said, yes, I will. And that night she took me with her after the meeting and talked with me at a coffee shop for over 3 hours.
Wow.
I just want to say that at the time I went in, I had 24 hours and she had 4 years. And now I have 14 years almost, and she has 9 months. So I'm just saying about...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right? So I'm just saying about the disease. It's not about really how much time you have, because all we have is today. But the sponsor is not supposed to be your friend. They're supposed to be a person that is your teacher that takes you through the program.
I was going to ask you if that was my grand sponsor you were talking about, but I'm assuming that it's not.
No,
Okay.
it's not.
Okay. But you've had a couple of sponsors.
I have. I've had a couple of sponsors because the thing is, you grow, it's not like just like marriage. There really is no one right person for you for the rest of your life. I mean, let's face it. When people got married in the old days, you were really only supposed to live till 45. So for me, I take what I can from each sponsor, and then I move on to another sponsor.
Right. And usually there's no hard feelings. Like, it's kind of like a known thing that if I'm not doing it for you anymore, if you're not learning from me anymore, for whatever reason, you could quote unquote give me the boot, which is what Carrie had said when I asked her to sponsor me.
You can fire your sponsor or totally give them the boot. And you want to know what? This is not about ego. All this is about is it's the right fitting together of the two people, and it's about doing the work.
So when I asked Carrie to sponsor me, I was like, I thought it was the weirdest, strangest thing. I'm like, you're supposed to go up to someone and ask them if they would sponsor you. So
it's kind of scary.
It is. It's like a little intimidating, and
yeah.
And I always thought, like, why does anyone want to spend their time when everybody has busy schedules and they have their own things going on? Why give them something else to do? Maybe that's because I feel like that in my own life. But
yeah, she's a little...
I'm a little busy. I'm a little busy.
Just a little busy.
But anyway, so I was in a meeting, and it was a beginner's meeting.
Yeah.
And Carrie was running the meeting.
Yep.
And she said something that I loved. It totally resonated with me.
What did I say?
You said, I think we all have personality disorders.
We all do.
And I was like, oh, I think she's onto something there. I totally sometimes feel like I have a personality disorder. But anyway, so I spoke to somebody and I was kind of, asking them, so what do you think about Carrie? Do you think she would be a good sponsor? And they were like, ask her to sponsor you. I think that would be a really good fit. And I went up to her and she loves to say I was shaking and I was scared and I was...
Well, it's a scary thing. I was shaking and scared when I've got
Well,
my
I wouldn't
first
say I was
sponsor.
shaking and scared, but I did think it was weird. I did feel strange going up to you asking you. So I was a little, lower pitched, and I was like, I'm looking for a sponsor.
She was showing her timid side, and this woman is ferocious.
Anyway, she was like waiting for me to get the words out. And she definitely made it more comfortable for me. And she said, yeah, let's go to coffee, let's talk. And, the rest is history. And then here we are, almost 2 years later.
Yeah, almost 2 years later.
More than 2 years.
More than 2 years
More
later.
than 2 years later. And we are sponsee. We do have a friendship. I know Carrie said you cannot have a friendship with your sponsor. I think our situation is a bit unique.
It is.
Because we are business partners as well.
Yes, we are.
But when it's time to get to business, we get down to business.
Anyway, we have to go because the doorbell's ringing and we have work to do. So we'll be back again.
Time to get to work.
Time to get to work. Love you guys.
Hope we answered some of your questions, and please feel free to comment.
Comment.
Bye.
Love ya. Bye.